In case you didn't see it last night, Spurs fans, this happened. Bottom right, pay attention, Keldon Johnson.
Walker Kessler, screens, marketed.
That's an and one. And that, Spurs fans, led to his benching.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Our Spurs lost to the Jazz, but the big news is Keldon Johnson was being benched last night. Drop a comment down below, Spurs fans. Do you think this is kind of temporary thing? Kind of like Malachi Branham until you get your things straightened out. I'm going to use some time on the bench. Or do you think there's more going on here? I see some Spurs fans saying, well, this means he's getting traded if he's getting benched. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You're not increasing a player's trade value by having them on the bench all the time. See, Devontae Graham. So let me know your thoughts on this situation, how it played out last night. Hit it, thumbs up. If you like to support the channel, subscribe to become part of our awesome Spurs and sports community. Let's get into the article from Pounding the Rock. Perhaps the biggest story of the night came from Greg Popovich benching Keldon Johnson after he played just 4 minutes in the first half. After the game, assistant coach Mitch Johnson told reporters this.
Just repetitive mistakes. Sometimes you need to change up the messaging or change up the accountability or how you do things, and Pop's the best at it. So.
Okay. I don't know if Keldon's ever been benched this early in his career, Spurs fans. His only stat last night was that foul that you saw not once but twice in a highlight, or in this case, maybe a low light for Keldon. Let's continue on in the article before we finish up, and I'll give more of my 2 cents. Clearly, Johnson is late reacting to the lifting mark and bulldozes through a screen, fouling the shooter for a 4-point play. And let me just say, Spurs fans, that's kind of how I play defense. If you're going to screen me, I'm running through the screener. I'm probably going to run into the shooter too, but that's how we play schoolyard basketball. This is the NBA. This ain't going to fly. Clearly did not fly last night. Keldon's off-ball defense has been getting worse over the last few games and needed addressing. We will see if Pop's discipline gets through the wing. Spurs fans, personally, I'm hoping this is a temporary thing. I mean, I hope this lights a fire under Keldon's butt big time. I'm all twisted up in my headphone, excuse me. When he's on, when he's got it going, he can score points in bunches with his drive, starts hitting threes. He can be such a spark plug off the bench and just for the team in general. But when he's off, when it's not going offensively, then he, like a lot of our players right now, is a liability on the court. He does not play great defense, and his off-ball defense, as you saw right there, is just not good. I'll just be polite and say not good. I sincerely hope Keldon turns things around. I don't think there's really a big story here. This is just Pop coaching, trying to get the best out of his players. We saw this many times before with Lonnie Walker getting benched on a regular basis. And you could name a player. They've probably been benched at some time, unless it's like a Robinson or Duncan. I don't remember them being benched, but that probably did happen in the past, and I'm just oblivious to it. That being said, short video today, not a lot to cover. I wanted to share this with you, get your thoughts on it. I think it's a temporary thing. Let me close with this. Maybe it's going to be short as I thought. How long will this last? You know, I'm sitting here scratching my head because now that I think about this a little more, Spurs fans, I'm thinking Champagnie hasn't been killing it in the starting lineup. He's still there. We saw Zach Collins brick 3 after 3 after 3, brick after brick after brick. And still no discipline there, so I don't know. Does he play next game? Are all things normal and he gets out there and Pop just says, hey, you know, if I see you make a play like you did against the Jazz, against Markkanen, then, you know, coming back to the bench, is Keldon going to play with kind of a, you know, being driven by fear? Is that the best motivator? I don't, you know, the more I think about this, I don't know how it's going to play out. Because I'm thinking of other players on our team that just absolutely play like doo-doo, and you know, we saw Jeremy Sochan going 1 of 7, 1 of 7, 1 of 7, but I think he's been put on the bench a couple times this year. It's really got me scratching my head now. So even more so now, if you can relate to me when this has happened throughout the season, I really appreciate the comments, because as I just sit here and think, there's been players that have been playing bad and sometimes worse. Now that play last night was a bit egregious. Running into the screener, okay, but don't keep going and run into the shooter. What the heck are you doing? That's just a bonehead play. But other players have certainly not played good basketball for Spurs numerous times, and I feel like maybe they weren't best as quickly. You know, Collins probably been benched here and there. He had to. You know what? I stand corrected. The game where Collins got posted twice, I did a video on it recently. I forgot who we were playing against. Shoot. The Kings, where he got posted at like the 5.5 minute mark, and then got posted at the 4 minute mark. First it was I think it was Murray, and then Sabonis. And I think it was quickly pulled out after that. So, okay, I stand corrected. Collins has been benched. So just kind of thinking out loud here because it just something I don't think about. Players getting benched, and to see this after 4 minutes last night was a shocker. Granted, we've seen players benched before at the Spurs, but just that quickly and then not coming again, especially somebody at the regular part of the rotation, I think that's what got me just so thrown off and wondering, is there more to this or just a temporary thing? I don't know. That's all I got. I'm kind of rambling here as I'm thinking out loud, but sometimes I like to do that. I have a little game plan for the video, and then I just start thinking out loud, and then maybe it starts generating comments from you like, oh, yeah, maybe you're right, or maybe you're way off base, or maybe you're just somewhere in the middle. I don't know. That's all I got. Thank you for tuning in as always. Go Spurs, go.